Alright, let's do this. So we are, as you can see, Commute is going to join me today. Still had some cool days, and I wanted to have Commute for them. I think it was like I had a 70-degree day, and all of a sudden I switched back to Tiny Deadpool. I don't know. Whatever. I didn't get anything done last night, which is fine. Thought about a bunch of things. How's that sound? So, I hope that counts. Does thinking about things count? I don't know. What do you call? Yeah, so one of the big things that I'm trying to think if I've even talked about this at all. I know that I mentioned when people are buying my art and wearing my art that that's like amazing to me. Because everything that I drew before, people have worn my art before, and I've even said, you know, hey, I drew that. If it was around the people that I worked with, we would all kind of argue over who drew what. And then we'd actually end up realizing that it was the silk screener that actually drew the art, and it wasn't ours. Because we would always put little bits in to make it ours, and they would eventually take them out. They would get washed out. So yeah, but I drew the originals, and somebody traced over it. But the truth of the matter is it wasn't my art. There's a disconnect between drawing what is essentially me, and drawing for a particular project in the way, in the style, and that kind of got beat into me early on when I was trying to be an artist. Because I never went the way of independent artists. I was always commercial, and I would always be working with a team. submit it. I don't think people realize that that happens. But even though it's like a scene right from, an animation or a comic book or something like that, it's not like they lifted it out of that. They had us actually redraw, and the team would actually draw a bunch of things, and some of us would get picked. A lot of mine got picked. I don't want to pat myself on the back or anything like that, but a lot of the stuff that I drew got picked. It was meant to be merchandise. Think of a person that didn't do that. We would each have our own signature in the art. And when it went to press, when somebody took it over, I think they redrew it. Really crafty with the way we did our signatures. And it went on everything. It's like I watched the new DuckTales, for example, and you see that style of art has changed. Or Teen Titans. Teen Titans is a good example of how they went from almost mimicking George Perez's work to this whatever of the characters. That's the artist drawing it. And somebody got picked. And I don't know who got picked for the new ones, but somebody got picked for that. But the people drawing like the animations and stuff like that, mimicking other artist styles, we would kind of like put our own little spin on it. I changed too, because I love seeing how things work. So I became a fabricator. And even becoming a fabricator, I still made stuff, props, and things like that sold. And I sometimes go why, when they celebrated my name, I'm now nobody. And it's because I have no control over the things that I fabricated. I have no control over the things that I drew. And in the end, I think that when I felt like I got pushed out of it for more CGI or computer generated stuff, and the practical was kind of becoming less, I really didn't find a place for myself in my own created world. So fast forward, because I spent a decade not doing any of it. And it actually, but I spent more than a decade not being commercially viable. So I think that's where a lot of people get a misconception about what they see with my art, is that I'm not rusty. Rusty is probably the wrong word, but I am out of practice. And instead of relying on what I knew I could do, I knew I could create, I kind of did it as an offhand. I literally did doodles. And I turned the doodles those doodles into digital art. And I think I've mentioned this before about when I first witnessed somebody doing an art stream. I was absolutely entranced by it. It was absolutely magic to me. And I mentioned what magic is to me. Magic, doing what magicians do, like the sleight of hand and stuff like that. I personally consider that real magic. I personally consider that how sleight of hand works and stuff like that, and how to trick the eye, and how there's all these steps in a simple creation, disappearance, reappearance, moving, teleportation, and all those things that magicians do. It's not that I didn't realize that there is a lot of work that went on behind it, but when I realized how much work goes on behind it, and how much much practice and skill and everything like that. That's the amazing part to me. That's the magic to me. So where digital art was, I saw that as magic. I didn't see it as something that I couldn't do. I just saw it as something that I wasn't able to do at the time when I first saw it. And that's all I wanted to do was do that. One of the things that most digital artists do, which I don't know if you've watched my art, or if you've watched any of my art streams or anything like that, that I don't do, and I still haven't gotten into the habit, is they would already have it all mapped out. They would do all this work, all the work, to create the art before they even start an art stream. And then they would start the art stream. And they would already have like an underlay, or a template layer below, and they would be basically, tracing, but drawing on top of it. And adding more detail, adding more flair, adding lots of other things to it. So you're getting more of the end result, not the actual creation part of it. And working with animation and stuff like that, I am so used to that. It was probably one of the reasons why I was able to transition to it. I had no intention at the time I was doing with the first couple of drawings and stuff like that. I had no intention of becoming an art streamer. The only reason that I was learning digital art, only reason that I did any of the fan art, the only reason that I did any of that stuff was so that I could actually create my own. I'm usually overly ambitious. The platypus was definitely the original way I was going to go. The emoji cube, which turned into a gremlin cube, was really just to be my, quick, because I already noticed that beaks and fur and even hair, for the most part, had trouble translating as an emoji. Gremlin was always going to be my emojis. They were eventually, the funny thing about it is, they were eventually going to be on my t-shirts. So you'd have this platypus, talking, drawing, doing all these things. Not necessarily drawing, but singing, and doing all these things while the them sing songs, write parodies, and do all of those things. Basically do all the things. Just didn't turn out that way. After a year, and I know I talk about, there he is, gonna talk about his suspension one more time. You're gonna talk about how even YouTube cut him off in the middle of a stream. Allow him to, do his thing. But, other things like in the middle of games and stuff like that. Playing using Batman as, Batman was one of the first games that I actually played with the Batman. Q is dressed up as Batman. That was copyrighted. The video is copyrighted. I do not have any Arkham Knights games saved. If I do, it's completely copyright protected. Monster Hunter World, also. I think I kept those up. I think if you go back and you look at those videos, they're all copyrighted. And I know that I'm not making any money. With YouTube. I'm not monetized at all. So I kind of have still a little bit of freedom to play copyrighted stuff. Loud noises. More than half, and most likely I probably would say that, I know that more than half of them are copyrighted, but probably all of them should be copyrighted. Including my parodies. Even when I play the music, when I did Lord of the Rings Online, and I watched the bands play, and did it like that. Somebody's up there. I'm going to be sneaky and turn around. I don't want to interrupt anything that they're doing at all. got some time. Um, you know, I, even if I played my own music and it was similar to somebody else's music, I think it probably should also be copyrighted. The few songs that aren't copyrighted, I, kind of exploit a little bit more than I should. Um, but I'm not making any money on it, so it's not. It's no like I said, it's no skin off my nose if they copyright it. The only time it's going to be a problem is like when I get big. Um, the yeah. Um, but here's the big but. Um, when things are copyrighted like that, for me, um, it says or it sends that message to me that this isn't yours. Um, one of the um, interesting copyrights that I got hit with um, was the Warren Zevon Werewolves of London parody, Silverveil. Um, I got hit with a copyright on that. Even not that video. I sang it without music for no reason whatsoever. I just sang it as a compilation on a larger video where because there was a time when I would actually sing my non-copyrighted songs, um, or I would sing the song, my parody songs, without the music. So it's my voice and my lyrics and everything like that. And I would even do it with somebody else's lyrics, with the song lyrics, doing a cover without the music because the music is what they were copywriting. So I decided when I have a long video or if I'm doing multiple, because I got um, in the middle of the stream turned off by playing the Doors, I didn't want to have my streams cut off. And it's the reason why I did that. I didn't do it for money, but they copyright claim my voice singing this Overrail song with my lyrics, and I actually challenged it and won. But the fact the fact that um, they did that, and I think what you could hear if you turned up the volume really really loud, if you turned up the volume really really loud, um, you could hear the music playing in the background. Now, the original parody song was not copyrighted. So I was just like going, what's going on? It never made sense. That still never made sense to me. So at any time, they could copyright um, my parody songs. And I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that in the slightest. Um, so now, reeling it all back in. So that's all the stuff that's been going on with me to get me to this point. Art streams. They're mine. All of them. They're all mine. It's my art, my creations. Um, you, I don't even have something to trace underneath. You're watching me draw those lines in and how I wanted to. I put in markers on the, within the picture, so that I knew where the face was. I knew how the eyes were supposed to be. I wanted to have a little more three dimensional to it. I did a kind of like a mock up there, but for the most part, I just freehand drew what I wanted. Um, and because it's my art, because it's in my style, because and I don't even really have a style, because my style comes from a commercial place that I have not shaken yet. um, I do have a really good mimicry. I can actually see and mimic other people's work, um, which not much of a talent, but it is what it is. But creating that, it's one of the reasons why I consider myself an art streamer. Creating that, because it I don't consider myself a gamer, because it's not these aren't my games. um, I do interact with people coming in, and have conversations and stuff like that, and goof around, and all that stuff, because they're the most important thing. They're the most important part of the stream to me. Even when I'm doing art, the most important part of the stream is my interaction with others. All streams, no matter what. Even the streams, even the streams when there's nobody else there, it's just me, and you're watching a video with an empty chat. Even that, the most important part of that stream is my interaction. Even without it, it's still the most important part. Always. The most important part of every single one of these videos is the comments. These are just ramblings for the most part. But the most important part of every single one of these videos is the comments. That said, I know I'm never gonna get rich on my merch pays. They take way too much. If you hear me complaining that freaking Twitch takes 50% and keeps trying to take more, um, a $50 object, or this is how to really describe how much money I'm making on the merch page. I mean, how much money I've made on the merch page. A $50 piece that goes out, I make about $5. A $10 or $20 piece or anything like that, I make about $2 or $3. Sometimes I make 20%. But sometimes I make 10%. But for the most part, um, for the most part, yeah, for the most part, I'm making only about 10%. It's a 90% of the money that people put into my merch, into things that they buy, for the most part. 90%. I even I lower it to try to entice people to buy anyway, because some things I design so much on it. I putting a back, putting a front, putting sleeves, putting things on sleeves and stuff like that. That all cost extra money, and I don't make any of that. That's not. I don't earn any of that money. Um, so no matter what, if somebody's supporting me by buying the merch, I'm happy that they have the merch. That's all of it. Um, it's I'm never gonna get rich. I'm never gonna get rich on merch buy. If somebody thinks that if they put $50 in and buy, get 10 subs, that person gets $25. Like that would be a lot of money on the merch page. But the difference between buying a sub for 1 month and buying an object, no matter what it is that you get that object. Now, the most important part, reason why the merch page is worth more than the sub, is because people will wear it. They buy a hat, they buy a t-shirt, they buy a hoodie, if they buy a glass or a mug or a mouse pad. And I want to get the mouse pad with the um, the boob or butt mouse pads, that are aeronomical, whatever that they call those. That um, that is not aeronomical. That's not going to help you with carpal tunnel or anything like that. Not that they're absolutely 100% useless. But um, but um, they are fun, and um, but just if somebody buys a regular mouse pad for use, I'm trying to think, stickers, any of this stuff, whatever they're using it for, they get that. They have that object, and that's worth more than any sub. And I would rather earn the 10% than earn the 50% any day. Um, I think subs. I think subs and freaking the ads and all that stuff is just absolute freaking waste of time. Um, if I never become monetized, and here's the thing: if I have, if I had the 1,000 or 500 or whatever the new thing is, or the 4,000 viewing hours or the 3,000 viewing hours, whatever standard that they set, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't really look into it anymore. It was supposed to. Um, it was definitely supposed to. Let's see what time it is. Oh, we got plenty of time. And I don't know what that is, but I got everything off. It's just still doing that. I just turned the key. I think it did it last time too. I was supposed to. I'm trying to think of where. I'm trying to get my thought back because I just lost it. Lost my total train of thought. But yeah, the most important thing is the fact that people have the option, and having people wear my art now compared to when I was working commercial and I was making things that people were buying in the thousands. Um, or people have the art, or people have the mouse pad that they're using, and it's my art. It's not connected to any commercial thing. To me, that's like, it's so freeing. It means that means more to me than anything that I've done, no matter how much money I've made on in the past. It means so much more to me than all of that. I would give it all up to have more people buy, you know, and where I wish I could give it away. Um, it is one of the reasons why my price point I keep so very low, because if I could give it away, I would give it away. I don't have the money to give it away. Um, I was thinking to thank uh, every, and you never know. I could have a windfall. I could have money. This job could actually, the reconstruction year might be better for me, and next year when I'm in better financial straits, I could afford the $500 um, to buy the 10 hoodies that I'd have to design. Which, if you saw how long it took me to make the first one, I'm hoping that the next ones are going to be a lot cheaper. Um, but if I had the $500 to buy all 10 and give everybody who contributed a T-shirt and who is featured in going to be featured in the video. Um, if I could do that, I would. Um, I was very happy that because somebody told me to make T-shirts for them originally because they were going to visit people. I was very happy that they sat down, they bought those T-shirts themselves because I was going to buy it for them and I just could not. It kind of almost broke my heart knowing that they probably weren't going to be able to have it. But the fact that people have those T-shirts, people who bought things, I've actually made money on my merch page. It's the reason why I have two merch pages now. Uh, People actually made money on the merch page. I'm like, it still kind of like blows my mind that I actually made money and people are wearing my work. It's I didn't make a lot of money, but I made some money, and I didn't do it. I'm not doing sales hand over fist. I'm not doing enough sales to even justify having a merch page. Um, but I'm glad I have it, and it means so much more to me. Um, I I was going to not sing. I was going to not do the loud because all of my loud noises. I do them in person. I don't do them with an avatar. That's me. That's me singing the songs every single time, every single loud noise so far. And I was going to make um, the little gremlin basically sing the song, without the entire video, um, and then eventually cut it because I was going to use sections of it in the video. Um, I could do it with the background, or I could do it with regular background. I can make a green screen. Um, I do like the rawness of it though. But I did make a hoodie that I'm going to probably buy, so I can sing that song. I didn't do my rap practices last night, which I meant to do, and because that I got to do, and one advice that somebody gave was don't tell them everything ever. Always keep this air of mystery about you. And it's like going, I understand where people are talking about, but I'm not that type of person. I'm not that type of streamer. We have. I could probably mosey. Do a mosey. We have a good. I have to admit, what we have is, more than I could have possibly expected. And I'm very happy. I'm very happy with where we are today because of it. As always, put cool beans in the comments below. If you didn't listen to the video, I can't stress that is the most important part. It is the interaction with people is the most important part of all these videos. More important than the content that I'm creating. I know that people can't see that. But it's the truth. You are the reason for this. You are the reason that I talk about all this stuff, and I'm very happy to talk about it. I'm very excited with the direction that things are going in, and where making videos and stuff like that. I might do a karaoke night and have us, singing karaoke and with, a collab and actually drawing in and animating and stuff like that. That could happen. The biggest problem, like I was explaining before, is the copyright. I don't think that I'm going to animate any copyrighted material. Um, or if I do, I'm going to stop it. And I say this when I'm doing what's going to most likely be a copyrighted song. This parody. I might even do the test. And who knows? If I can't use Eminem, I might write a whole totally different song. I might not even rap. Yeah, it makes me kind of laugh because even the standards that aren't copyrighted are copyrighted. My Way is not supposed to be a copyrighted song, and it's a copyrighted song. Drives me freaking crazy. But it is what it is. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. We will continue this. I hopefully have something for tomorrow, and we can do this all again. All right. Take care. All right. Bye.